Seth Rich's family hired a private detective shortly after the suspicious death of their son. During his investigation, the detective found one anomaly he couldn't understand. The killers made a mistake. They, a high-ranking official or officials at the DNC, reached out to Rich's family to ask why the detective, Rod Wheeler, was snooping around. To the detective, this meant two very terrifying things. First, someone in the police department called up people at the DNC to tell them that a detective was looking into the case. Wheeler doesn't ask this question, but it needs to be asked. Why did the police call the DNC? It makes sense that Wheeler would want to let police know that the family asked him to look into the crime. Maybe he and the police could help one another. But, what do the police want from the DNC? Let's give them the benefit of the doubt, and assume that at this time the police didn't realize that the DNC could have been involved in the murder. To the police, the DNC was just the employer of an unfortunate victim. But, why reach out to the employer to let them know what their former employee's family was doing? It still doesn't make sense. Unless, of course, someone at the DNC made it clear to police that they didn't want this crime looked into. But, it gets worse. The DNC then called up Rich's family, and asked why they involved the detective. Well, if I was Rich's parents and his employer called me up to ask that, I would wonder why they were asking. Sure, calling up and offering condolences is usual. But, you don't call up a grieving family and demand to know why they hired a detective. You also don't say the detective was snooping around. Wheeler has every right to be involved in the case, he was paid to do so. And, it's not surprising that the family would hire a private detective. It was clear from the beginning that Seth's murder was going to be a difficult case. It still isn't solved. And anyone would have to wonder if the DNC's unusual and inappropriate call to the family has something to do with that. Or, maybe their unusually close connection to the police. All I know is, we need to learn the name of this caller from the DNC, it could be the key to everything.